Got to be in all the way. Got to be in all the way. Got to be in all the way.
Hello. Whoa. Whoa. All right, let's try this now. Wow, that was loud. My apologies. Aloha. Welcome to the broadcast, Release Sundays Live. Yeah, sorry about that mic mistake. Mic steak. Nice to have you on the broadcast. Thanks for joining us. Just doing a little live right now for you all. Getting a little mix in. As we enter into the broadcast, I'm fighting to wear this hat today for the show, so can't really fit my headphones on, so I'm just kind of working around that. Thus the loud mic steak. Thanks for joining us. Just shooting a little video, updates, reflections. As many of you probably know, we were supposed to have release part 2 coming out 11/11/22, and we've been deep in post-production. In fact, we've come to the awareness that we have a much bigger task at hand than one realized, and what that means is that it's looking like we're gonna have to do a docuseries. Just gonna have to do it. There's no way the hundreds of hours of footage, amazing treatments and transformations that happened could be skipped, really. You know, ultimately it's just, we can't do it. We have to include it, and so part 2 is done, but it's looking like we're probably gonna have 4 feature films. That's a much bigger journey for me than I anticipated, but our vision and what's kind of come about is that we're going to give you updates with the release movement that's began and gone viral and gone to over 40 countries, and the responses and the future places we're going to bring this work to. We're including that progressive movement, training more practitioners, the journey that's been going on since release first launched in that movement, and then we're going to jump into the different cities along this tour with this magical being that we're going to get to know a little bit more of in part 2, and you get to see her full transformation in Iceland in the last film. But we're probably going to do 2 to 3 cities per film because of the amount of content we have. So it's going to be a more elongated adventure together. I'm excited. Also, like I said, it's a lot of so much work to go into doing. It was a lot to release one feature-length film in a year, let alone we're doing 2 now. So it's going to be premiering 11/22/22. So just in about 10 days, the movie is finished itself, part 2, and we're just polishing right now, refining, doing all of the sound mastering right now, getting it all really dialed in 4K. And also, I'm about 40 minutes into the third film, which we're gonna go, we go to Denmark first, and then we go to Sweden. We ended up being in Sweden for the largest annual marathon, where people from all over Sweden run this marathon. It's just unbelievable. We were down in the city doing treatments down in the city, and just fully there with thousands of people running around in the streets, and then we end up going back to Denmark and continuing on from there. So that's going to be in this one. Some really powerful interviews. We ended up coming across some very unique individuals that we got to introduce the concept of touch and take a look at a very alternative perspective of what they went through. Specifically, we've seen a lot of stuff around immigration and this movement of all over Europe, this influx of Muslim people coming into different European countries. And this brother that we came across, he's from Egypt, and it's just a very powerful counter story of how he just escaped Egypt with his life as a boy, and was really just not trying to plague or clutter or condense in the population in specifically Sweden, where we came across him. He was just grateful to be alive and be somewhere that bombs weren't going off regularly and his life wasn't threatened. So very powerful. We knew the interview was going to be really powerful when we came across it, and I feel like now, 10 years later, it's more relevant than ever for more understanding of each other and what it's like in different countries. And it's not all 100% what we see from the perspective here in the West. So very powerful pieces, really exciting. Get to know Molly a little bit more and start diving into our journey together. And just really excited for part 2 to come out, and also to go through some of what we've been through since we launched, and the censorship process and everything. We had to cover and address all that. So so beautiful to be. Hey everybody, nice to see you guys. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it. It's such a journey to take on a creative venture like this. Words really can't describe. And I have to say that it's just a lot. It's a lot in general to do, and it's been super powerful to relive all of this and see, how special and how significant it is that we recorded all this and to bring it to you guys. But I just wanted to give updates. We just saw we had a way bigger project in our hands than just making 2 films. So that's kind of delayed the editing process and how we would structure cutting part 2, so that it's just not overwhelming. I think it's going to end up being about an hour and 45 minutes. Still a longer movie, but then we're going to pick up going back into Denmark and then Norway and Paris and Germany and eventually Iceland, going through the powerful experience of what it is to bring the aspect of touch and the power of the inner physician into different cultures and countries. So I wanted to come on and share that. Our Release Sundays Live is always about tapping into your divinity, discovering your empowerment, your truth, of your own divinity and how powerful you are. And we're going to be covering some powerful protocols actually that I went through on our show on Mondays, which is here's the new flyers tomorrow. So I'm still preparing and doing shows weekly for Matrix Body Mechanics Live. We do that on Rumble because we can't do it here on YouTube because of the parental control system that we still have, yes, which we cover, like I said, in part 2. Nonetheless, here's the new trailer for part 2, and we have one coming for the docuseries itself. Just beautiful. Here's another one that we just finished for part 2. Gonna take a look into both of these, and of course, the journey of what it was to go through the censorship process with part 1. And it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So I'm super excited to share with you just a preview. I thought I'd come on. I'm like deep in the throes of editing, so we're just gonna go right into Final Cut Pro, and I'm gonna play a little segment of Release the Movie Part 2 for you guys. I really hope you enjoy it, and just gonna play a little clip, and then we'll come back from there and I'll talk a little bit more and close out for the day. Like I said, I'm just so deep in editing. I was supposed to be on a few hours ago doing this with you guys, but I got caught up with the posters and like 3 other things, and we don't have a massive production team with this, so it just kind of is what it is. So with no further ado, I'll leave it here and we'll go over, let's see, here we go. Pull that down, boom. All right. Wow, what a journey it's been since we released our film, Release, to the world. Words can't describe the experience of being shown the vision of this film 20 years ago, the journey of witnessing it come to fruition, and the divine adventure that has followed in bringing the heart of a spark that created a mass awakening in humanity to heal thyself. It hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. As part of that journey has been bearing witness to the control system censorship of our film and its initial release on the largest platform we had access to through my dear brother Salto Spinacci, who was also in the film. With his channel Mr. Astrotheology on YouTube with a global audience of over 240,000, we knew it wasn't a fraction of the bigger platforms broadcasting propaganda, but it was a solid launch pad for our message. Wow, what a journey it's been since we released our film, Release, to the world. Words can't describe the experience of being shown the vision of this film 20 years ago, the journey of witnessing it come to fruition, and the divine adventure that has followed in bringing the heart of a spark that created a mass awakening in humanity to heal thyself. It hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. As part of that journey has been bearing witness to the control system censorship of our film and its initial release on the largest platform we had access to through my dear brother Salto Spinacci, who was also in the film. With his channel Mr. Astrotheology on YouTube with a global audience of over 240,000, we knew it wasn't a fraction of the bigger platforms broadcasting propaganda, but it was a solid launch pad for our message. As we approached 50,000 views on all platforms we were premiering on after the first 4 weeks, our film was banned on his channel and Matrix Body Mechanics TV, and we were both given a strike for medical misinformation. And just like that, our movement to awaken humanity and the momentum we were building to transcend the algorithms was shut down. We disputed the banning of our movie and strike to our channel expressing that we weren't really sure what was referenced as medical misinformation because we just shared the factual history of allopathic medicine as well as a bunch of news clips from the mainstream media around the P-landemic. Speaking about the shutdown and factual statistics we addressed in a montage referencing the significance of humanity being more educated around how their body works. It was a harsh personal and transpersonal taste of the free world we live in, or what the definition is now accepted to be around free speech in America. Well, we didn't accept this, or take kindly to this serious crime against humanity. If you think about it, to block the collective consciousness from witnessing something to educate and inform, because it goes against what they are controlling you to observe and experience on their platform, is evil. The thought police took on a whole new definition. We quickly unlisted the censored version from my channel that hadn't gotten flagged yet and kept it live on our website. releasethemovie.com, where you can still see it along with the film that you're watching now. We answered back quickly with a censored version where we took out exactly what we knew got us banned and released a censored version on multiple platforms. But unfortunately, because of the number of strikes on the larger platform of Santos's channel, which by the way is just a reflection of how much valid information he puts out, we had to wait till one of his strikes was lifted to release to this larger network, which we did in June as the strike lifted. We capitalized on the censorship with giant red letters and then made reference to the uncensored version we still were able to give the people access to. We actually broke our record of views the first day and week from the first premiere, and it's still up. Nonetheless, they couldn't stop the movement that had begun as release had reached over 40 countries and all 50 states in the US. I truly wasn't prepared for the response that we received of hundreds of people writing us with their stories of their trauma and hardships around their health, challenges in their lives, their feelings of defeat when nothing else was helping them, as well as their burst of hope and inspiration upon seeing our film and the power of the inner physician to heal thyself. I instantly started to contact all of my practitioners, as there were only 25 after the last program that we had finished with NMRT. So I had to get the gang back together, so to speak, to create an access point for this work for so many asking for practitioners in their area of the United States or their country. It was a powerful, overwhelming feeling to not be able to reach everybody that was answering the call to release. Then came not only the beautiful response from our practitioners holding the light and true beacon of release, ready to step up and be in service, but also came the answering of the call of practitioners from all over the world that wanted to come learn this work. From Kenya to Berlin to Australia to Thailand, the response was truly profound. Of human beings not only feeling the call to heal themselves, but to become a beacon of this healing in the world and heal others as they had witnessed in the film. I realized so many things needed to be updated. The website, my practitioners list, a newsletter, and of course setting up training programs for the influx of healers coming to the table, feeling the divine call to be beacons for this system of release with NMRT.
Life in LA at the time, and I went to Hawaii to try to find a new direction. And I had been a body worker for 3 years, but I was looking for a new technique to actually bring and facilitate more healing to my patients. And when I watched Micah Sky release the movie, I really felt like that was the technique that I was supposed to learn to do that.
By divine orchestration, a divine team of individuals began to assemble to assist me in this process, answering the call I put out to God for years that I cannot do this on my own. I am humbled to this awareness. And like all things divinely aligned, it came together at the right time. We began to set up a summer program and a winter program, and the full force process of meeting with practitioners and preparing for the summer program set for July. Unfortunately, the world's still coming out of this big fear show over the last 2 years, and the world itself is in a state of great instability. With now a global recession, food shortages, passport mandates still in effect in many countries, it made it compromising for many of our called practitioners to reach us for the summer program, praying that much will change by the winter or next year. So our summer program was a more intimate, smaller group, and we held it at my home.
All right.
And facility on the island of Kauai.
Yeah. So just played a little bit in there, just a little something, something. Apologies. The sound's actually a little off on the shots right now, I noticed, Stephen, and it's just because we're placing footage. Some of the footage in there also is placed with other B-roll footage that has to go in. Just tiny last little bits. There's just so much to it. I mean, let's see. If I were to go back here, I just want to give you guys perspective. Just for those that have never seen what it is to like make a film, take a look at this. This is here. I'll zoom it down even more so you can just kind of see the condensed layering of shots here. That is what makes these makes the film. You know this. It's crazy. You know it's crazy.
I don't know what to tell you. Crazy. So, anyways, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And one of the greatest creative endeavors that I've done. And, I had a powerful moment with my daughter today, dropping her off because she's in theater, and she's been working her butt off. And it was not the day that she wanted to go in and do a 7-hour rehearsal. And she just had a little bit of a process about, not feeling like people really care about this thing that she's doing the way that, her friends and stuff, the way that she cares about it. And I told her, you know what? Nobody's going to care about something the way that you care about it. It's just a fact, guys. Things that you care about, things that you want other people to understand, no one's going to care about those things and have understanding of them the way that you do. And if you make peace with that, then you're going to be a lot less tormented in this life. And by putting that care in and seeing how much your care stands alone, it really reinforces sometimes just how much some things really do matter, even if you feel like they don't matter to other people the same way, how much they really do matter. And it reinforces the conviction behind what it is that you are choosing to put your energy and creativity into. And so that's a really, really powerful reflection I just wanted to share in caring to do this film, to make this film, and to put this all in it to help share awareness for people on the power of touch and healing thyself. And how much is going into what this project is. I just wanted to share that all with you, and the fact that this is really turning into a docuseries because, one of the pulp aspects to this is watching people go through release. It has its own kind of intrinsic dynamic effect when many people, including myself, and so many people have expressed watching and this being healing to watch people go through this. So there's so much footage in each place we go to. We couldn't cut a lot of that. A lot of that's kind of the meat and potatoes, so to speak, the protein, the amino acids of the golden nectar of the production of the process. And then, of course, the beautiful landscapes and the cultural aspects of the footage all had to be included. And it was just so hard for us to cut it down, and also to not really create space in each one of these films to show the updates with our current and present movement. And we feel like the two timelines are going to segue together at some point, where we will start actually going into more present, current release journeys, explorations into other countries still on our list very much, including just some really exciting things we have going in the background, potential massive transformational retreat centers / eco villages in Thailand. We've been talking to a couple over there who reached out to us and wants to make neuromuscular release therapy the foundational modality for a real transformational retreat center, because so many of them are off of very kind of foo-foo practices. They're not really about detoxing and transformation. And after the cultivation through a lot of colleagues and myself for a divine protocol to disable the the thing from the last 2-year thing, that's the thing that's in 50 million billion about 2/3 of the population, the thing that we found divine protocols and potentially would like to have isolated retreat centers for people who really want to heal themselves from what has been done to them, are lining up, along with Australia and Africa. We've been asked to come 2 different places, both in Kenya and this smaller village, that they want us to bring this power of healing touch, and Japan and Asia in general, and India. And so we're seeing the timeline kind of merging together to keep this docuseries going and continuing to bring a global movement to touch and healing in the inner physician. So it's I see the pathway creatively as an artist, and it's exciting and just so much work. So anyways, that's my update for you all. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you tuning in to hear this, and I'm excited to share part 2 of release coming up in, I think, 9 days on the 22nd. We'll be launching it here. So you can see it here and also at releasethemovie.com. And hopefully we'll see if it aligns. There's a lot going on. But would love to be able to at least put it on larger platforms, as our goal is ultimately to get the message out and get this out to people. And eventually I see us really kind of doing a full remastering of all 4 of the films. And being able to watch them in sequence, all in 4K, etc. So a lot more work to be done, a lot exciting in the background, and we wanted to kind of bring that into part 2. We've done 2 apprenticeship programs since we launched the first film and have 8 more amazing practitioners in the world. We did smaller groups just with the pandemic and everything going on. It made it harder for larger people to come out here. And I'm excited for the one coming up in March. It's going to be in an amazing space, this Balinese Shangri-La. Just such a sacred ground, sacred place that has been built here by 2 loving, dear Ohana family members of mine who were like the surrogate parents for myself and grandparents for my kids. And they've built it over the last 30 years. And it's just the most sacred place. We're so excited to do a program there. This will be a larger one. So there's a little more room where the other ones were smaller groups. We could only take 4 spots. There's 10, possibly 12 or 13 spots available. And just an amazing response from practitioners already lining up and getting their prerequisites done to be able to come to the program. So just honored to be a part of this process and this awakening process with you all for release. So that's my update. Got to play a track to go out up on this. I mean, really, it's
In this whole world, you know, there are millions of boys and girls.
that's our broadcast. That's my little mini show. I'm diving right back in to the editing, guys, because I also have 4 kids and I have them basically half the week. So it's I have to utilize my days, my kid-free days, to edit and produce this film right now and get it out in 9 days for you guys. Like I said, just little polishings left. I hope you enjoyed the little preview. More to come. More to come. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you soon. I have, again, we got the show tomorrow. Got to keep covering that, all the election debacle updates and whatnot, and information on divine detox protocols, things like that. And we'll take it from there. So I will see you guys this coming Sunday. We got a lot of cool guests coming up. We do for Release Sundays Live, so stick with us. We just put so much energy into getting this film out and releasing it, and we'll do probably a show around release with some of our practitioners as well coming up. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all. So much love. Satnam. Aloha. All right, back to editing. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Appreciate each and every one of you. Aloha.